Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the topic of the truth about mass shootings. So for this video, I'm going to explain in a simple, straightforward way um, the honest truth about mass shootings, why when it comes to why they happen so often, in a simple and straightforward way, so anyone can understand it. So if you're interested in knowing why mass shootings happen, as well as what can be done to end it, at least help end it, then watch this video in order to find out. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of the truth about mass shootings, the honest truth of the matter when it comes to the truth about mass shootings, most of these mass shootings happen because a lot of people are not treated very well by other people, okay? That is the honest truth about mass shootings, okay? Because a lot of people in the general public, I'm not gonna front though, they really know how to piss people off, okay? And it's already been a proven fact that if you look bad enough long enough, like if you're being bullied and stuff and you're not standing up for yourself, which sometimes there's legitimate reasons why people don't stand up for themselves because they are afraid of getting in trouble. But either way, the point is, if you don't stand up for yourself, everybody will start joining in bullying you, okay? And when it comes to bullying, whether it's in real life, like you see here, or even of course online, which oh my god, I think everybody sees, the truth of the matter is we all know it's a very terrible thing and it happens to a lot of people. The honest truth of the matter about it is that it happens often. A lot of people like to bully people, and they bully people to the point where they start wondering if everybody in the world hates them, and it just takes one thing to happen and that person flips the fuck out, and now they're taking other people out with them, okay? And this is the truth about mass shootings, okay? Because I know there's been some information in recent times where people are actually saying the complete opposite, that actually most people do that are just genuinely evil, but that's actually a myth. A lot of them are actually bullied and are actually treated terribly. Yes, there are a few people who are just doing it because they want attention and so on and so forth, but the majority of people who do it, when you look at the evidence, such as obviously one of the most infamous ones is the 1999 Columbine shooting, you actually look up this stuff and you realize, yeah, they actually did bully that person, okay? Some people say they weren't bullied, but when you actually look enough, you realize they were bullied. And even for the case of where they said no one really bothered a person, you don't know if they're actually telling the truth. A lot of kids lie. You know, a lot, and not just kids, a lot of young people in general, whether kids or adults, you know, like teenagers, you know, which we're mainly specifically referring to for this video, lie like fuck, you know, and that's the honest truth. They lie a lot. So the truth of the matter is, if when it comes to these mass shootings, a lot of them are aggravated by people who are harassed. There was a story in 2008, I remember, where a black guy killed 9 people of his co-workers in a beer store or something. I don't know what the case was called, but he killed them because they were treating him terribly. There's another story about a black guy who was a news reporter who killed someone, and a few other people on his team because they were harassing him because he was black, just like the previous case, you know, I mentioned just now, okay? And there's a few other ones where it's like we can clearly tell, yeah, this person was being bullied and harassed and terrorized, whether it had to do with race or not. People were harassing that person, okay? And that's the honest truth of the matter, okay? So we can't just play the game and just say, oh well, no one was bothering him, you know, he's just an evil person. No, sometimes these things do happen because society does like to sometimes harass and put people down and put people in a situation where they feel like shit. And that's the truth about mass shootings and why they happen so often. People always say, well, we need stricter gun control, this and that. And of course, yes, we do need stricter gun control, but the truth of the matter is, where, you know, obviously if someone's going to shoot somebody, there has to be a motive. Just saying, oh, we need stricter gun control is dumb. You know, that's part of it for certain. You know, without of course banning them, which understand that we don't need to ban guns, but we need to obviously have restrictions. But even aside from that, we also have to look at the motive. Okay, people are not just gonna say, okay, I have unlimited access to firearms, I'm just gonna shoot people for no fucking reason. You know, especially when you realize the consequences. released. You know, there obviously has to be a motive to make something feel like I don't give a fuck about life anymore. I'm gonna do something that is gonna get somebody to suffer. Like, it's common sense 101. So the truth of the matter is, to put it bluntly, without a shadow of a doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts. Most of these things happen because people harass people, and in the end of the day, a lot of people, of course, a lot of them being Americans, specifically the ones in a specific part of America, of course, the South, will just do what they usually do to deal with hate. You know, fight hate with hate, which just makes things even worse. It's like fighting fire with fire. You're just gonna make the situation worse, okay? And that's the truth of the matter, especially when somebody actually has a legitimate reason to be feeling hate. Which, fighting hate with hate, let's see how well it's worked. Historically, when it comes to America, look at how fighting hate when black people still attack white slave owners in the past because the white slave owners mistreated them. How well did that turn out for the white slave owners when they were fighting against the blacks? It didn't turn out well because the blacks were rebelling all the fucking damn time, which of course led to the war and leads to the political situation we have today. Or it could be fighting hate with Islamic hatred. You know, Islam gets a lot of hatred because of the actions of a few. You know, they hate Islam, they talk poorly about Islam, they say, oh, Islam are terrorists, and terrorize them. How well has that worked out for them? You know, the war on terror hasn't even officially ended. There's still Islamic terrorism and so forth, because they are fighting hate with hate. And that's what I'm trying to say here, okay? You know, even me being someone who doesn't believe in pacifism, because sometimes I do believe you do have the right to defend yourself and fight back, sometimes you have to also realize you have to use your head. Like, what is causing someone to be filled with this much fucking hate? But these people don't want to answer that. They just want to rely on anger and hatred, and of course violence to solve the problem. Oh, if somebody does this, oh, we're gonna shoot them. Oh, if somebody shoots up a place, you know, oh, they deserve to get raped in prison. I hope they get raped, and blah 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 blah. But what does that really do? All that's just doing is just encouraging more hate. How do you fight hate with hate? Why don't we get to the source of the problem and realize it's because a lot of people treat other people like shit, and that's the reason why this stuff fucking happens all the time. You know, that's the honest truth of the matter, okay? So to sum things up in general when it comes to truth about mass shootings, if society doesn't want these things to happen anymore, they're gonna have to start learning to leave people the fuck alone, okay? Because a lot of times they really do bother people, a lot of people, okay? And I'm not saying everybody in this world, because I don't want to stupid put words in my mouth and say I said something I did not say, okay? But I'm saying a lot of society, they really do like to fucking piss people off, okay? They like to bully people, put people down, and sometimes they didn't even do anything wrong. They just happen to be quiet or something. They just say, oh, let's pick on this person. And that's the honest truth here. If society doesn't want to suffer all this pain, you know, by having to worry, oh god, if someone shoot up a place that's not look suspicious, then maybe just treat people damn well. In other words, just leave them the hell alone. Let's not even play that stupid game about, oh, I'm gonna befriend this guy because he looks like shoot up the place. Why don't you just leave him the fuck alone? That's all you need to fucking damn well do. And this is the problem with society, which I don't really know why society ever feels they have the right to put people down anyway. You know, for that matter. Especially when you look at all the things a lot of them suffer with. It's already been proven. Most people, if you put them under enough bad situations, and there have been studies and so on and so forth, will do the most degrading things that a lot of these so-called unquote losers of society I don't think would do, you know, themselves. Not to mention all the things that a lot of them do, like they take drugs and stuff when things get hard, like hard drugs, which just guarantees your life is going to be screwed up forever, you know, and just a lot of stupid things. So it's like, okay, you guys do all this stupid stuff yourself, that's extremely dumb and silly, and it's already, let's keep it real, especially with this new generation of women. A lot of women, if they came across hard enough times, would sell their bodies, you know, to OnlyFans and all this type of stuff, okay? You know, in other words, they do things that are, a lot of people, if under enough pressure, would do things that's either stupid or immoral. So what gives you the right to bother this other person who's quiet and keeps them down himself? That's what I'm trying to say here. Either way, the point of the matter is that leave people the fuck alone, and these things will stop. Okay. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to bother people. A lot of people want to give people a hard time. And it's only so long you can do it until you meet the wrong person who's not having it, and they shoot up the place, and you see what's happening in the world, like the In-N-Out burger shooting. You know, I'm not saying that was caused because they're harassing him, but it's a part of the system, you know, of things that are going on, you know, which is these shootings that happen, you know, and just like, you know, like the situation that happened, you fuck with someone, he might shoot up a place like the In-N-Out burger shooter, and that's the honest truth here. So anyway, that is the truth about mass shootings, and how we can stop them. Just treat people well, and this will end. And that's the truth. And that's off the saying, so we put them out. So bye.